Hi, kindergarten. Last time Mrs. Palazzi shared with you what it means to be an avid reader. So we're going to talk more about what avid readers do, and today we're going to talk about how avid readers react to books. So before we talk about that, can you think of a time when you were frightened by a movie or a TV show? And maybe you grabbed on to somebody's arm. Or maybe there was a time in a movie where you felt sad. Books are the exact same way, readers. Sometimes you need tissues. This tissue box says, "I'm there when you're sad." Sometimes books make you laugh, and sometimes books make you just feel scared or excited, and you think to yourself, I have got to show this to my friend. All right, avid readers, let's talk about reacting to books some more. Okay, so last time Mrs. Palazzi talked to you about what avid readers do. Avid readers read a lot, find places everywhere to read, keep a stack of books in waiting, can't stop reading, and I guess my C got cut off, but they just can't stop reading. They really pay attention to the book. Remember how she showed you blah readers and avid readers? Don't be a blah reader. Avid readers feel what the characters are feeling. We're going to look at some books and poems and talk about how the characters are feeling. Okay, friends, do you remember how in the fall we would read The Three Billy Goats Gruff over and over again? And it was such a fun book to read, and we had a great time sharing it and reading it and, talking about it with our partners. Well, let's think about some of the feelings and reactions. Is this a book when you were reading and enjoying it with friends, or maybe just on your own, where you needed tissues? Not really, right? But you might have felt a little nervous at times in the story. Remember when the problem in the story comes up? Right here it says that on the way, because remember they were going to eat their green grass, there was a bridge over a rushing river, and under the bridge lived a troll who was as mean as he was ugly. So friends, I noticed here I might feel a little nervous. And that's because avid readers feel what the characters are feeling. Okay? So they read stories and they try to imagine how they feel when they were the goat. So we remember from our story that on the next page, the youngest Billy Goat Gruff decided to cross the bridge. And the troll roars, "Who's that tripping over my bridge?" And can you imagine how you would have felt if you were the youngest Billy Goat? So there's just different parts in the book where your feelings are going to change. Here, he might be kind of nervous, right? I know I would be. But we know later in the story, there's a part that there is a part in the book that we really, the feelings of those characters change, and the third Billy Goat comes up. And he was so big and so heavy that the bridge creaked and groaned over him. And we remember that he's the billy goat who throws the troll over the side of the bridge. There's the picture of it. How do you think, if you were that third billy goat gruff, how do you think you would have felt? Pretty confident, pretty sure of yourself. That's right. I would think so too. Remember this book, Lucky Ducklings? In this book, there are a lot of feelings that the characters might be going through that they don't really say in the story. This would be a fun thing to talk about with someone at home when you're reading. So at the beginning of the book, the duck family lives in their cozy pond in the green, green park. And if I were one of the ducklings, I would feel, probably pretty cozy and taken care of and loved by my mama duck. I remember the pattern in the story, how Mama Duck will do things, and then Pippin and Bippin and Tippin and Dippin all follow her, and then last of all, Little Joe. How would you feel if you were Little Joe? He's always last, isn't he? Do you think he likes being last? I wouldn't mind it. But, sometimes being at the end of the line isn't really a lot of fun. I know a lot of kindergartners don't like being at the end of the line. Okay, this is when Mama Duck goes out and about into the town. And all of her babies are following her. And Little Joe is looking at a butterfly. I wonder what he's thinking. They have a bite to eat. I see these ducks are trying to both eat this. I don't know if it's a pretzel or a banana peel or something. I wonder how they're feeling. Whereas this little duckling might just feel like he wants to be near his mama. And then they keep going, following their mother, and then what happens? How do the characters feel now? Oh no. They each fall into the storm drain. How do you think those little ducklings feel now? And then someone sees what happens, and all of the people gather around. They see that the ducklings were making a ruckus below. And they're going quack, 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 quack. How do you think they're feeling? Well, since their mama is up here, I think they're really scared. And then here's the part in the story where a man named Perry rescues the ducks by pulling the drain top off. They're still quacking. They must be frightened still. And they rescue each of the ducks. Thank goodness. And then Mama Duck comes back for her babies. I'm thinking I wonder how they feel when they're in this bucket. I'm thinking they might be worried about where Mama Duck is. Oh, how do you think they feel here when they're back with their mother? And then they follow her back to the pond and they go home. All right, avid readers who are also super readers, now it's your turn to practice. I have attached to your parents' email a copy of the commonly known nursery rhyme, Mary Had a Little Lamb. And what I'd like you to do with someone at home is read the poem and talk about how the characters are feeling in the poem. You can talk about how Mary must feel, how the lamb might feel, how the teacher might feel, and how the other children in the poem might feel. Feel free to write and draw to share. I'd love to hear from you. And then when you go off to your own independent reading time, remember, you're an avid reader. Have your stack of books and you might need a box of tissues, and that's okay. Read, read, read. Looking forward to hearing from you, avid readers.